Okay, so this is one of the Native American primary medicinal plants. Its main use is to stop bleeding, which is very important if you're going around shooting arrows at each other. Or flint knapping. Flint knapping is very hard on your hands. You can cut them up. So the plant would be dried and then powdered, and then any sort of cut, they would pour the powder in it, and it works like a quick clot to stop the bleeding. So if you were to taste it, it would taste very, very bitter. It's very astringent, and basically the compounds in it cause the capillaries and smaller blood vessels just to clamp tight shut. So it's just like shuts it down. Now, if you are, squirting arterial blood, not so good for that. Figure like nosebleed, like the bad nosebleed level and lower, as far as the sort of cuts that it would treat. So dried, the leaves, the roots, the whole thing, powdered and put in the wound. Yes.
Is it equal to black pepper?
I'd put it on par with black pepper. Yeah. Also, cayenne pepper is another good one. Yeah, it works really well. So.
To stop bleeding?
To stop bleeding. Yeah. It's also used as a gargle if you have a sore throat, inflamed throat, cold sores, any sort of sores inside your mouth. It hurts really badly while you're gargling, but then it feels better afterwards. Yes?
Can you just eat it plain?
Okay, you technically you could eat it plain, but it's going to taste really bad. So it's going to be very bitter and nasty flavor. So usually it was used just as medicine or as a gargle. So if we look at it, it's growing in a rosette form. It has that taproot again. The leaves almost look like gears. So this would be a single leaf, but it is a round leaf. The stem basically hits in the center, but then there's that one kind of cleft on the side. But there's a scientific name for something this complex. Kind of looks like a lung. Yeah, so think of it like a short lung. But very common yardweed. Like I said, we got the taproot, we got the rosette. The stems are hairy. Another identifying characteristic. The leaves are pretty much smooth and very deeply cleft to the point that they almost look like a gear or lungs or something. But dried, mashed up is very, very good for stopping bleeding.
How would you prepare it for oil use?
For in an infused oil?
No, for oral use.
Oh, yeah, same thing. Dry it, crush it up, and crush it to about the size of tea, tea, and then just suck on it, or put it in a tea bag and suck on it that way, or let it soak in hot water for 15-20 minutes, and then use it like a gargle.
So we help with a tooth problem?
So any sort of throat problem, like inflamed throat, sore throat, cold sores, tooth damage, stopping bleeding gums, that sort of thing. So, all right. So tastes terrible, but good for stopping bleeding. Any other questions on it? So this will start now and basically run into June. By June, it can be fairly large bushes, but it's still just going to have this rosette form. It'll have, again, some salmon-colored flowers on them. My wife says it's salmon-colored. It's kind of orange. Not quite orange-colored flowers, but I trust her. She's a quilter. She knows her colors. But yeah, throughout its entire life, it can be